What's up, all my fragrance-loving people out there? Welcome back to Whoa Fragrances, reviews and whatnot. Y'all know what it is. Y'all seen the thumbnail, so you know what this is about. Those lying-ass fragrance reviewers. Or are they? And I know y'all probably thinking right off the bat, like, bruh, ain't you a fragrance reviewer? Ain't you reviewing fragrances? Well, technically, no. I'm an entrepreneur who makes my own fragrances, who loves all fragrances, and love to find out things and put y'all up on game after I smell something to let y'all know what's popping out there and what's not. So you can guarantee that I'm going to always keep it real and let you know what's really going on. Now, I can't say that for all fragrance reviewers out there, though I appreciate all their content. Some of the stuff they tell us is just all hype because, no matter what they try to tell you, a lot of them get kickbacks, a lot of them get free fragrances, all this good stuff. Though they say they may be impartial with what they're telling you about the fragrance, come on now. You got discount codes to fragrance net, fragrance buy, down Twisted Lily, all these things. Come on now. You got to be a little bit not so impartial, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these hype fragrances is to generate people to these sites to sell these fragrances. So whether it's, I will say this, they're not working with any of the fragrance companies per se, like Dior or Savage, well, same company, or Valentino or anything like that. But for these discount companies, that's a whole different story. So anyway, I say all that to say this. We have like 5 fragrances today that I want to jump into to let y'all know, was it all hype or was the hype worth it? So we ain't going to waste too much time. We're going to jump right in this thing, and I'm going to kick it off with this right here. Let's jump right into it. And it's a cologne fragrance. If y'all have heard of this, or you may not have heard of this, this is Homme Trade Nuit pour Homme. And like I said, it is a clone, and it is a clone of none other than Creed's Green Irish Tweed. Now, the fragrance community would make you believe that this is like a 90-some% one-to-one clone of Green Irish Tweed. Like, you can't beat it. Well, I gotta call bullshit, because though it smells good, though it is a very nice fragrance with cheap atomizer, and it does definitely give you Green Irish Tweed vibes. As the kids say now, it's giving some Green Irish Tweed. But when it starts to, like, right off the bat, like when you spray it, if you sprayed Green Irish Tweed, you'd be like, oh, okay. But when you put it on skin and really kind of start to let it do its thing, it starts to stray away from Green Irish Tweed and smells more like Cool Water. And this is why, which is not a bad thing, because Cool Water is a good fragrance. But don't try to make us think that we getting a whole niche fragrance in this cheap, and y'all look at the presentation. This ain't what that was about, but it actually is, kind of neat, gimmicky bottles like most of our moths, what they do. But yeah, back to the fragrance. Like the lemon verbatim, the violet leaf, a lot of that stuff. And I'm going to show you the notes. Give them the notes in case you don't know. It's similar, like I said, but what makes it go south in the mid is probably mainly where I get more Cool Water. And that's because of the lavender they put in here. Like Green Irish Tweed doesn't have lavender. It has the violet, it has the lemon verbatim, it has the sandalwood in the bottom. When it settles down, you may come back to Green Irish Tweed. But I'm just saying, don't think this is not no one-to-one Green Irish Tweed. Like, they hyped this up where you could barely find it. Barely find it on Fragrance Net and everything. I got this on Fragrance Buy finally, but it was sold out on there for the longest. So, like I said, it's a good pickup for the price. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a very nice fragrance. It's still lingering, like it does its thing. But if you're thinking if anybody is a Green Irish Tweed wearer and they smell you with this, they might be like, hey, that ain't green Irish tweed. So just a fair warning. All right, keeping it moving. We're going to talk about this one right here. Now, Rochas makes some good colognes, y'all. Like, you can't go wrong with Rochas, man, and a lot of the other ones. This right here, it was somewhat hyped. Like, the guys that I watched, you know what I'm saying, the Gent Sense and, man, I can't think of the dude's name right now. Anyway, it's a lot of them. Hype this a little bit, saying it's one of the best blues out there. Let's let it focus. And this is none other than Rochas Homme. Man, Homme something. Nice presentation. Hefty bottle. Love the blue. Y'all know I love the blue. Gradient. Cap locks on. Plastic cap, but it's still solid. You know what I'm saying? Now this one, let me see if I can remember. Let's go quick spray. Atomizer is decent. Now, it is very pleasant. I gotta say that. Like, I heard people comparing it to Dolce & Gabbana King or whatever it's called. I've only smelled that like once, and it was pretty good. But then they compare it to that because of the blood orange, I think it's in this, and can't remember all the fragrances. Maybe I'll pop them here. If you see them, I did. If you don't see them, I thought it wasn't that important. But yeah, those are the notes. And I got to say, this is it is a great fragrance. It is perfect for spring, summer. It was hyped. The little bit of hype it got, I'm going to say it was worth it. Because you can get this, all these fragrances you can get between $20 and $40, depending on how the hype is going at the time. So this one isn't overly hyped. So I think I got it for around $26, which is very damn good for this fragrance. Like, it does last a nice bit of time for, you know, a citrusy kind of blue fragrance and everything. It's not packed with C notes like some of these other ones that kind of, to me, gives a little pungent smell every now and then. Like I said, this is a fresh scent. It's not quite, I would say, shower jelly, but it does do its thing. But to say that it smells just like K, I don't think so. You know, I don't get much like sage or something in here. But it is a solid fragrance, you know, fresh out the shower, or, you know, you're on vacation, spray this on. I don't know if it's one of the best blues out there, like I've seen people saying, but I'm going to put this one in the middle of the road to say the hype was worth it. You know what I'm saying? For the price of it, it's a solid pickup. I wouldn't go out of my way to get it, thinking I'm finna get a clone of Dolce & Gabbana K or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? There's some of the notes in here, it kind of does its own thing, and it's pleasant. So I'm going to give it that. It's pleasant. Next up, we shall talk about this right here. So I want to talk about this right now. All right. We're going to go to this. Because this right here has been lately, pun intended, lately one of the more hyped fragrances, because that it is a clone of one of the best clubbing, late night going out fragrances out there. A niche fragrance of Parfums de Marly Leighton, and it is none other than Harlemagne's Detour Noir. Now, when I picked this up, I think I ended up getting it for, I did pretty good, like the $25 to $30 range or whatever. Fragrance Buy, once again, it was like the only place you could find it. Because when they hype something, it is hyped. Now, the bottle is cheap as hell. See this little cap thing on it. Now, it is snug. You can pick it up like that. But I've only had this fragrance for maybe a month and sprayed it a few times. Look at that. So you can see. The name is already like coming off of it, like from just your thumb being on it, like horribly cheap. But I love the atomizer on this thing. Y'all seen that? It's a damn good atomizer for something this cheap. So that's where they put the money in it, and I ain't mad at them. Now, if you know Layton, you know the notes. We'll pop them right there. You know, it has the apple and all this good stuff. Like, the notes are exactly the same. Even though if you look this up, they give you your notes for Pegasus, which is stupid. But I can tell that this is them trying to be one-to-one now, but it's not. First off, the opening, if you spray this and you spray Layton, you can't really just tell. It's like, damn, that's good. But now when this gets to the mid, where it turns a little bit for me away from Layton is in the mid, you don't get as much of the fruity sweetness as you do with Layton. The smokiness kind of takes over a little more to me. You know what I'm saying? Like the, what is the smokiness in this? Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, but it's in the notes. But like I said, it starts to really kind of twist a little bit. I mean, I like the smokiness. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But, you know what I'm saying, some people might want that fruitiness a little bit. But when it settles down, it goes right into that vanilla and ambery smell, and you can't even tell. So this is definitely worth the hype. If you're into Layton, you're going to love this. This is worth the hype. All right, we're going to have this going too crazy. Now, this one right here, man, was hyped beyond recognition, for no other way to put it. So, y'all remember Joop back in the day. So when this thing came out, people talking about this doggone Joop on ice. Like, oh my goodness, they have recreated the wheel. Joop on ice, you can't get that shit nowhere. So I finally ended up getting it for like $30 and stuff. And yeah, it's pleasant. But they just wanted to help these companies sell this because it's not all that. Like, they talk about that plum note in there like it's just the second coming of a smell. Like, it ain't even really that fruity. Like, I get it. You know, so I get the plum, and they talk about how it just don't go along with the name. Like, ice makes no sense. I disagree. Like, I totally get the freshness of this fragrance. When I smell this, I don't get just fall. It's not that sweet. It's kind of musky and fresh. Like, I could spray this out the shower like a blue fragrance. Like, it looks like a blue fragrance, and I feel like you can rock this spring and summertime. Like, call me crazy. I mean, I know notes and smell them and stuff, but this does not come off like a fall winter fragrance like they be saying. Like, I think Joop knew what the hell they was doing when they made it. So, I'll put it like this. The hype is all hype when it comes to how they describe it to me, as saying that it's more of a plum sweet, fall winter fragrance and all this kind of stuff. It's fresh, man. I get a freshness out of it. It's a nice fragrance. And for the price, sure, if it's not hyped up, if you can get this for like $25, roll with it. You know what I'm saying? Do it. It's worth that. But if it's hyped up and it's around $40 and $50, nah, let the hype die. Let the hype die. All right, last but not least, we're going to let this video go too ridiculous, and something just fell. All right, we'll get that in a minute. One of the most hyped, another Rochas, Moustache. Now, a lot of people don't know nothing about YSL Tuxedo. I didn't either. I've never smelled it. I mean, when you look the notes up, the notes of this and that are basically almost identical. But now, I will say this. When you first spray this, like the first 10 seconds of this thing can throw you. Because to me, it smells a lot like Mercedes, Bentley. I'm sorry, getting my cars mixed up. Bentley Intense Man. And as you know, that opening can drive some people away. So like I was saying, it's the cedar, the spiciness of the pink pepper mixed with the cedar all jumps right at you at once, maybe with some of the benzoin also. And it's strong for like the first 10 seconds. But after that, that sweetness kicks in, and the benzoin and the vanilla, when it settles down, I imagine it smells like tuxedo. But I'm gonna tell you, when I tell you that this is one of the best great atomizer too. Fall, winter fragrances. When you put this on, man, you know, you could be dressed like this. You got to be trying to look good. Maybe throw a suit on or just something that's, you know, sexy date night style something. Man, she's going to be up in that neck. Put that right there. Put it on them pressure points behind the neck. All that kind of stuff. And when I say the quality of this bottle, like, man, this is hefty. Cap locks in place, cap's plastic, but it's worth your dime all day long. If you can, like I said, it was hyped. It was on Fragrance Buy. I might have got it for a little under 30, or it was, you know, 32, something like that. But very well worth it. So, as you can see, we had a couple of hyped up to be damns that was just hype. And we had a few that were worth the hype. So, I guess if you look at the average, the fragrance reviewers are not all lying. You know what I'm saying? They keep it at 100 on some of this stuff, but you best believe they're trying to drive up the traffic to these places or whatever. They do a good job of it. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Check out those fragrances. And hey, until the next time.